than responding with physical force.
Of course. Question, in terms of the evidence that we've been seeing, just because there's all this video evidence, there's these surveillance videos, there is a moment where it seems like she's following him, but then there's a moment that I think this case comes down to that has been discussed so much, and it's him shoving her into the car. What do you think, or what stands out to you with your experience as what led to this conviction?
I think exactly that. I think you're exactly right to zero in on that moment where you can see his strength, you can see him trying to push her back into the SUV. But I also think that the jury was not unaware of the fact that she, in the end, is chasing him. And there were, as happens in virtually, well, in so many cases, there are facts on both sides, right? This wasn't a slam dunk for either side. And his attorneys certainly had something to argue here, that she was the one who was running after him, that he was the one who sustained more injuries, that he was the one who left and felt threatened. And then the prosecution, of course, had plenty to argue as well. And we see that in these two convictions. So I think her testimony obviously was key to getting convictions. I think that moment where you see him trying to get her back into the SUV was key. But I think it was key both ways, right? I think it was key to getting the lesser convictions. And I think it was key for the jury saying, but not more.
Interesting. So what's next in this case? I understand that he's back for sentencing in early February. What will happen between now and then, and what kind of, and I know you kind of briefly touched on it, but what kind of sentencing do you suspect comes with this?
So, yeah, it's a great question. I mean, what's next is that the prosecution and the defense will typically submit sentencing memoranda, and the prosecution will obviously say something like 1 year's maximum. In this case, we suggest, and then they'll pick a number and they'll explain why. And the defense will say no jail time is appropriate in this case, and they will explain why they think that there are plenty of mitigating factors here, and why there are other punishments that they think would be appropriate, as opposed to, I mean, the defense is always going to say, do not put my client in jail. And I think that's really the argument that we'll see. And we'll see, my guess is the judge handing down something in the single-digit months. And again, it's a guess. So it is, as always, you've heard me say this before, the judge has discretion here.
Right. Jessica Levinson, thank you so much. Jerika Duncan, thank you.